Luc-Normand Tellier is a Professor Emeritus in Spatial Economics of the University of Quebec at Montreal. Education and teaching. After having taught for 2 years at the Collège Saint-André of Kigali, Rwanda, as a Canadian Peace Corps volunteer, Tellier studied both economics and city planning. He obtained a bachelor's degree in economics and a master's degree in city planning from the University of Montreal, as well as a master's degree and a Ph.D. in regional science from the Ivy League University of Pennsylvania. Later, he taught urban economics at the Institut d'Urbanisme of the University of Montreal before founding, in 1976, the Department of Urban Studies and Tourism of the University of Quebec at Montreal. He was chairman of the department for 13 years, as well as, from 1981 to 1983, the director of the Urbanization Research Center of the Institut National de la Recherche Scientifique. He was granted the title of Professor Emeritus of the University of Quebec at Montreal in 2012. The Fermat and Weber triangles. In 1971, he found the first direct numerical solution of the Fermat and Weber triangle problems, long before von Thunen's contributions, which go back to 1818. The Fermat triangle problem can be seen as the very beginning of space economy. It was formulated by the famous French mathematician Pierre de Fermat before 1640. More than 330 years later, it still had no direct numerical solution. As for the Weber triangle problem, which is a generalization of the Fermat triangle problem, it was first formulated by Thomas Simpson in 1750, and popularized by Alfred Weber in 1909. In 1971, the problem still had no direct numerical solution. The Fermat triangle problem consists in locating a point D with respect to 3 points A, B, and C in such a way that the sum of the distances between D and each of the 3 other points is minimized. As for the Weber triangle problem, it consists in locating a point D with respect to 3 points A, B, and C in such a way that the sum of the transportation costs between D and each of the 3 other points is minimized. In 1985, in a book entitled Économie spatiale, Rationalité économique de l'espace habité, Tellier formulated an all-new problem called the attraction-repulsion problem, which constitutes a generalization of both the Fermat and Weber problems. In the same book, he solved that problem for the first time in the triangle case, and he reinterpreted the space economy theory, especially the theory of land rent, in the light of the concepts of attractive and repulsive forces stemming from the attraction-repulsion problem. The problem was later further analyzed by mathematicians like Chen, Hansen, Jaume Puy, and Jalal and Crara. Moreover, the attraction-repulsion problem is seen by Ottaviano and Thies as a prelude to the new economic geography that developed in the 1990s, and earned Paul Krugman a Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences in 2008. In its simplest version, the attraction-repulsion problem consists in locating a point D with respect to 3 points A1, A2 and R in such a way that the attractive forces exerted by points A1 and A2, and the repulsive force exerted by point R cancel each other out. The topodynamic model and theory. In 1989, Tellier resorted to the attraction-repulsion problem to elaborate a new type of demo-economic model, the topodynamic model, which is not econometrical, and which was developed before the corresponding models of the new economic geography. The topodynamic model was conceived with respect to a continuous space, and it allows generating long-run demo-economic projections in regions where other demo-economic models can hardly generate trustable projections, due to the lack of reliable data. In 1995, Tellier Tellier wrote a paper with Claude Vertefeuille introducing the concept of topodynamic inertia, and laying the mathematical basis for that concept. That paper launched a debate that led to refining the concept, and greatly consolidating its mathematical basis. This was done in cooperation with Martin Pinsonneau. In 1997, Tellier published another paper that introduced the concept of topodynamic corridors, and the idea of a new section of economic sciences intended to complete microeconomics, mesoeconomics and macroeconomics. The new section, called anoeconomics, would study the space-economic phenomena that are observed at a larger scale than the one of the states in a very long-run perspective. Anoeconomics comes from ano in ancient Greek, which means going back through time, and going up through space. In 2005 and 2009, Tellier published a book that reinterpreted the urban world history in the light of the topodynamic theory he had previously developed, Arctic Rapprochement. In his first book, whose title was Le Québec et Nordique, Tellier proposed a rapprochement between Canada, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, and, eventually, an independent Quebec. That was 19 years before the Ottawa Declaration of 1996, and the creation of the Arctic Council, which gathers together those countries, plus Russia and the United States. Historical researches. Parallel to his works in spatial economics, Tellier published in 1987 a book about the Le Tellier clan, which was one of the two main clans that struggled for obtaining the favors of the King of France at Versailles during the 17th and 18th centuries. It is in this clan that economic liberalism was born in reaction to Colbertism, which was the economic philosophy of the opposite clan. Tellier is a grandson of Raymond Tellier, a first cousin of Louis Tellier, and Sir Joseph Matthias Tellier, who is the grandfather of Paul Tellier. Main contributions: Tellier, Luc-Normand and Boris Polanski, 1989. The Weber Problem, Frequency of Different Solution Types and Extension to Repulsive Forces and Dynamic Processes, Journal of Regional Science, Volume 29, No. 3, pp. 387-405. Tellier, Luc-Normand and Claude Vertefeuille, 1995. Understanding Spatial Inertia, Center of Gravity, Population Densities, The Weber Problem and Gravity Potential, Journal of Regional Science, Volume 35, No. 1, February 1995, pp. 155-64. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1972, The Weber Problem, Solution and Interpretation, Geographical Analysis, Volume 4, No. 3, pp. 215-33. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1977, Le Québec et Nordique, Montreal, Editions Quins, 232 pages, ISBN 0885651316. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1985, Économie spatiale, Rationalité économique de l'espace habité, Chicoutimi, Gatan-Morin Editor, 280 pages, ISBN 2,891,051,610. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1987, Faisceau Colbert, Les Le Tellier, Vauban, Turgot et l'avènement du libéralisme, Québec, Presses de l'Université du Québec, 816 pages, ISBN 2,760,504,611. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1992, From the Weber Problem to a Topodynamic Approach to Locational Systems, Environment and Planning, Volume 24, pp. 793-806. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1993, Économie spatiale, Rationalité économique de l'espace habité, Montreal, Editions Gaptan Morin, 285 pages, ISBN 2,891,055,012. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 1997, A Challenge for Regional Science, Revealing and Explaining the Global Spatial Logic of Economic Development, Papers in Regional Science, Volume 76, No. 4, pp. 371–84. Tellier, Luc-Normand and Martin Pinsonneau, 1998. Further Understanding Spatial Inertia, A Reply, Journal of Regional Science, Volume 38, No. 3, pp. 513–34. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 2005. Redécouvrir l'histoire mondiale, sa dynamique économique, ses villes et sa géographie, Montreal, Editions Libre. 592 pages, ISBN 2,895,780,633. Tellier, Luc-Normand, 2009. Urban World History, An Economic and Geographical Perspective, Presses de l'Université du Québec, 620 pages, ISBN 9782760515888, online.